Imagine this. You sit down to practice speaking a new language. You tell yourself, just 15 minutes of focused practice. But before you even start, you check your phone. One message leads to another, and suddenly, 30 minutes gone. Sound familiar? Why is it so hard to focus? And more importantly, how can we train our brains to stay on track? Because here's the truth. The ability to focus is the key to mastering any skill, especially language learning. And the good news? You can train it. Today, we're diving into the science of focus and how to take back control of your mind. Let's be honest, staying focused feels like a battle. And that's because it is. Inside your brain, there's a war between two forces. Your prefrontal cortex, the logical thinker that wants to stay on task, and your limbic system, which craves instant gratification. Every time you check your phone, scroll through social media, or get lost in random thoughts, your limbic system is winning. And here's where it gets scary. The more you give in to distractions, the harder it becomes to focus. It's like a muscle. Use it or lose it. But here's the best part. Just like you can train your body, you can train your mind to focus longer, deeper, and stronger. Have you ever been so immersed in something that time disappeared? That's called deep work, a state of intense focus where your brain functions at its highest level. Neuroscientists call this the flow state, and it's where real learning happens. When you enter a deep focus state, your brain releases dopamine and norepinephrine, chemicals that sharpen your attention and lock in new information. And this is crucial for language learning. Why? Because speaking fluently isn't just about memorizing words. It's about training your brain to think in the language without getting distracted. So, how do we get there? How do we train our brains to focus like a laser? If you've ever felt frustrated because you can't concentrate, you're not alone. But the best part? You are not stuck this way. Here are 5 science-backed ways to build unshakable focus. Number 1, the 5-minute rule. Just start. Struggling to begin? Tell yourself you'll focus for just 5 minutes. This simple trick is based on the Zeigarnik Effect, a psychological principle that explains why unfinished tasks stay active in our minds. Once you start something, your brain naturally wants to complete it. By committing to just 5 minutes of focused effort, whether it's practicing a few sentences in a new language or reviewing vocabulary, your brain shifts gears and keeps you engaged. Before you know it, you've gone beyond those 5 minutes and built real momentum. Number 2, block dopamine triggers. Take back control. Each of us is inseparable from the most powerful distractor in our lives, the smartphone. Your phone isn't just a tool, it's a distraction machine. Every notification hijacks your focus, flooding your brain with dopamine. Try putting it in another room or using special apps to stay on task. Stanford researchers suggest using a sensory reset to break free. Stand up, stretch, splash cold water on your face, or, one of my favorites, change your environment. A simple shift, like moving to a new room or adjusting the lighting, tells your brain, hey, something's different. Let's refocus. And here's where it gets interesting for language learners. Resetting your focus can improve recall. So next time you are stuck memorizing vocabulary, try switching locations, walking around, or even reading aloud in a different accent. It sounds silly, but your brain loves novelty. And when your brain is engaged, it remembers better. Number 3, work with your brain. The ultradian rhythm method. Your brain naturally focuses best in 90-minute cycles. Instead of trying to force hours of work, structure your study time into focused sprints, followed by short breaks. This is how elite performers train. Number 4. Speak out loud. The verbal focus hack. Studies show that saying words aloud increases retention by 40%. Instead of just reading in your target language, speak it out loud. It forces your brain to focus and process the language actively. Last but not least. Number 5. The what, so what, now what technique. Matt Abrahams, a Stanford communication expert, suggests structuring your thoughts with what, so what, now what technique. This keeps you engaged and prevents mental drift. Let's give an example. What? State a fact. Example. I just learned 5 new phrases in English. So what? Explain why it matters. Example. Now I can use them in conversation. Now what? Lead into a next step. Example. I'll challenge myself to use them today. This technique not only boosts focus, it helps you think and speak more clearly in any language. Here's what I want you to remember. Your ability to focus is like a muscle. Train it, and it grows. Neglect it, and it weakens. Use the 5-minute rule. Block dopamine triggers, work in 90-minute cycles, speak out loud, and structure your thinking with the what, so what, now what method. Imagine what would happen if you applied these every day. Stronger focus, faster learning, more fluent conversations. The ability to focus isn't just about learning. It's about transforming how you think, speak, and succeed. Master focus, and you can master anything. If you found this exploration into the science, how to stay focused, enlightening, don't forget to subscribe for more insights, like this video to support our content, and share it with friends who might benefit from mastering the art of conversation in a foreign language. See you in the next video.